Steve, obviously a big game on Sunday. I mean, it's almost a must-win. You have a look at the context of the season. It's a home game against a side like the Crusaders.
Yeah, it is, mate. I think particularly after the Chiefs game, it was really disappointing for us to be beaten like that at home. So get another opportunity this week against a top side. They've won 6 in a row, so it's going to be a tough game. But like you said, it's important that we keep winning.
Yeah, the Crusaders seem to have had the edge on the Brumbies recently, even further back. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think we have a history of pretty close games, dating right back to the start of the Brumbies. So we haven't played them a lot in the last few years, but when we have, they've probably had the wood on us here and over there. So we're pretty keen to go out there and put a good performance on in front of our home fans.
You've been able to isolate the team. I just know it's a very close unit from the dramas management-wise. Do you feel as though you've been able to isolate the team as a senior leadership group?
Yeah, I think we've had to. It really, the stuff going on off the field is out of our control and there's nothing to do with the rugby stuff. So we've really tried to focus on what we can improve on each week, and that is our football and playing well out in the field. So the boys have been a credit to the organisation. They've really bought into that and focused hard on what's important, which is playing footy.
I know we've probably asked you a few times about it now because it's dragged on for such a long time. Does that make it more of a risk of getting into the playing group because it's not just a hard and fast sort of thing? There's so many things going on.
Oh, look, mate, I think if you ask the players, most of them wouldn't really understand it at all, and understand what's going on. And, obviously it would be great to have it sorted. That's a given, I suppose, for everyone, not just the players, but for everyone involved with the club. But really, there's nothing we can do about it. So we just keep our head down and try and play well every weekend.
From your point of view, as a guy who's been around here for a long time and seen a lot of things too, do you feel like it's done any damage to the Brumbies as a brand, or do you feel like there's still that rugby is the number one driver for that brand sort of thing?
Oh, look, I mean, that's a question. I probably can't comment too much on that, mate, to be honest.
Yeah. In terms of I was going to go back to rugby, I wasn't sure whether you're going to
something else.
But the Australia-New Zealand rivalry, there's been a lot made of that in terms of how many games Australian teams have won versus New Zealand. Have you guys looked at that at all? Is there something to that, or is it just a matter of results?
We haven't spoken a lot about the opposition in any game this year, so this week's been no different. But you look at all their teams and they're playing well, aren't they? So, particularly the Chiefs, Crusaders and Highlanders and the Hurricanes, I suppose, as well. They've been playing well every week, so they're always hard to beat.
The big Trans-Tasman rivalry extends into international rugby as well.
Yeah.
Is Super Rugby an indicator of how Australian teams line up again, or is it too hard to draw those comparisons?
Yeah, I think they're two very different things. But obviously you want to win every game, so that goes without saying. If you're winning, then it probably flows on, but really there's not too much of a correlation. I mean, this game is in isolation.
And there's more games against New Zealand teams this year, or when we say more games, one more game that Australian teams play against them. Does that make a difference at all, or change anything in terms of the way you prepare for a year, or?
Not really, no. I think it's the same as what we've had every year. I haven't noticed any difference really. We've got a couple of trips over there coming up, so that's always a big challenge. But all we're focused on is playing well this Sunday at home. And we know the Crusaders are a good side and they've been playing well, so we've got to play really well.
Big crowd as well. Sunday afternoon rugby. I know the Waratahs have had Sunday afternoon games, and you guys kind of rare, but hoping that people kind of jump out and support that. Yeah,
definitely. I think it's great to have the afternoon game. I know my kids are coming out. That's probably the only game they can make for the year, so they're well in the cot by 7:30 usually. But hopefully we'll see plenty of kids out there, plenty of families, and being a Sunday afternoon, we're really looking forward to playing out there and hopefully playing well in front of our fans.
The two sides as a whole are exciting, but they're pretty few key individual matchups too in there as well. I mean, and you're talking about the Trans-Tasman rivalry in between those, the Wallabies and All Black spots too. Is that something as well that's kind of key for this team?
Yeah, which individual?
When you got Joe Tamani.
Yep. And Amani.
And Amani,
Yeah, they've both been playing really well. And I looked at their stats yesterday, and they're both very similar, in terms of their metres, their carries, their tries, their offloads. So it's going to be a great contest there. And I suppose that's what people want to see, players like that playing at their best. And Joey's been terrific for us in the last few weeks, and likewise Nems has been playing well for them.
I know you're not going to be here next year, but JB re-signing today for that
Yep.
12 months. He's a guy who probably doesn't get his name up in lights all that often, but he's pretty valuable to a club.
Yeah, mate, he's been massive for us the whole time he's been here, on and off the field. So, I think I said last week we really missed him when he was out injured, and he was great for us last week. So, gets through a mountain of work. He's shown real leadership off the field, and I think you saw him there leading the NRC team last year. So, that's an indication of what he's capable of in terms of his leadership, and he's just a good person too. Just a great guy to have around the club. Gets on well with everyone and works hard and plays well. And it's a credit to himself, and it's a great thing for the club that he's hanging around.
Because I know everyone always talks about when Poey misses a game, let alone a whole season. Like, to have someone like JB stepping into that hole is huge for the club.
Yeah, and he's had to play probably all positions in the back row throughout his career here. So he's very versatile, and that's the type of person he is. He puts his hand up wherever he's needed.